They left Jacob Fatu bloodied and broken on the canvas at Night of Champions, and Roman Reigns has finally spoken out, and what he said is about to divide the entire WWE universe. For grown men, for cowards, beating down one warrior who showed more heart in 10 minutes than they've shown in their entire careers combined. And now the real tribal chief has something to say that's going to shake the foundation of WWE to its core. If you're not furious about what happened to Jacob Fatu, then you don't understand what real loyalty looks like. Solo SIKOA and his pathetic excuse for a bloodline showed their true colors. They're nothing but pretenders hiding behind numbers because they can't handle a fair fight. Let me paint you the disgusting picture of what went down at Night of Champions, because apparently some of you missed just how cowardly and pathetic Solo SIKOA really is. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, was standing alone in that ring, ready to fight for what he believed in, ready to prove his worth as a true member of the bloodline legacy. And what did Solo do? What did this so-called new tribal chief do when faced with a fair fight? He called in his lapdog ZILLA Fatu and two other cowards to gang up on one man. 4-on-1. For grown men couldn't handle Jacob Fatu in a fair fight, so they resorted to the tactics of weak, spineless cowards. They didn't just beat him down, they destroyed him. Chair shots to the head, steel steps to the ribs, and then they had the audacity to stand over his broken body like they accomplished something. Like jumping one man with four people takes any kind of skill or courage. This wasn't wrestling, this was a mugging, a street assault disguised as sports entertainment. And the worst part? The absolute worst part? Some of you in the comments are actually defending this garbage. You're calling it good strategy or smart business. No. This was cowardice in its purest form. But Roman Reigns saw everything. The real tribal chief was watching, and his response is going to shatter everything you thought you knew about this family war. In an exclusive video message that dropped just hours ago, Roman didn't just address the attack, he demolished Solo's entire existence with words that cut deeper than any chair shot ever could. Solo, Roman said, staring directly into the camera with eyes that could burn through steel, you think beating down one man with four people makes you strong? You think that makes you a leader? You're not a tribal chief, you're a coward hiding behind numbers because you know, deep down, that you could never measure up to what I built. But here's the part that's going to make your blood boil with rage. Roman didn't stop there. He went nuclear on Solo's entire operation. Jacob Fatu showed more heart lying broken on that canvas than you've shown in your entire pathetic career. He took a 4-on-1 beating and still tried to fight back. That is what a true warrior looks like. That is bloodline DNA. You're just a pretender wearing my family's name. The pain in Roman's voice when he talked about Jacob Fatu was real. This wasn't just kayfabe drama, you could hear the genuine respect and anguish as he described watching one of his own get brutalized by cowards who don't deserve to breathe the same air as true warriors. And then Roman dropped the bomb that's going to change everything. He revealed that Jacob Fatu had been reaching out to him for weeks before Night of Champions, trying to find a way to bridge the gap between the old bloodline and Solo's fake version. Jacob wasn't just a warrior. He was a peacemaker, trying to heal the family wounds that Solo had created with his selfish power grab. Jacob came to me, Roman revealed, his voice breaking with emotion, not to betray Solo, but to try to bring our family back together. He believed in the bloodline legacy more than anyone. He wanted to find a way for all of us to coexist, to honor our ancestors while moving forward together. And how did Solo repay that loyalty? How did he respond to Jacob's attempts at peace? The answer is sickening. Solo responded by setting up Jacob Fatu for the most brutal, cowardly attack in WWE history. He used Jacob's own desire for family unity against him, luring him into a trap where four men could beat him down like a pack of wild animals. Solo turned Jacob's greatest strength, his love for family, into his greatest vulnerability, Roman continued, his voice growing more intense with each word. That's not leadership, that's betrayal of the highest order. That's the kind of backstabbing that would make our ancestors ashamed to share the same bloodline. But the revelation that's going to destroy Solo's credibility forever is this: Roman has proof that Solo planned this attack for weeks. Text messages, phone calls, recorded conversations, all showing that Solo was plotting to eliminate Jacob Fatu the moment he sensed any threat to his illegitimate power. Roman's message then shifted to something that should make every wrestling fan absolutely furious. He talked about the warrior's code that the bloodline has always represented, the honor and respect that separates true champions from pretenders. In Samoan culture, there is no greater dishonor than ganging up on a single warrior, Roman explained, his voice filled with righteous anger. What Solo did wasn't just an attack on Jacob Fatu, it was an attack on everything our family has ever stood for. He violated the sacred code that has guided our people for generations. And this is where Roman's message becomes absolutely devastating. He revealed that their family elders, the real authorities in Samoan culture, have already condemned Solo's actions. The people who truly matter in their family structure have declared Solo's leadership illegitimate because of how he handled the Jacob Fatu situation. Our elders have spoken, Roman declared with the authority of someone who truly understands family hierarchy. They've seen the footage. They've heard the stories. And they've made their judgment: Solo SIKOA is no tribal chief. He's a disgrace to the bloodline name, and his actions have brought shame upon our entire family. The weight of those words cannot be overstated. In Samoan culture, having the elders turn against you is the ultimate rejection, the final word on your character and worthiness. Solo isn't just losing a wrestling storyline, he's losing his cultural legitimacy, his family standing, his very identity as a Samoan warrior. But Roman didn't end his message with condemnation, he ended it with a promise that's going to send shockwaves through the entire WWE universe. He looked directly into the camera and made a vow that should have Solo SIKOA terrified for his future. Jacob Fatu's blood is on your hands, Solo, Roman said with chilling certainty. And there will be consequences for what you've done. Not just from me, but from everyone who believes in honor, respect, and fighting with dignity. You wanted to be tribal chief. Then you're going to learn what it means to face the judgment of a true warrior. Roman then issued a challenge that's going to make Night of Champions look like a friendly family gathering. He called out Solo, ZILLA Fatu, and their entire crew for a confrontation that will settle this family war once and for all. You want to prove you're the head of this table? Then face me like a man. Not 4-on-1 like the coward you are, but 1-on-1, warrior to warrior, the way our ancestors would have handled this disrespect. Let's see how tough you are when the numbers are even, when you can't hide behind your pathetic excuse for backup. The challenge is set, the battle lines are drawn, and the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about championships or storylines anymore, this is about honor, family, and the very soul of what the bloodline represents. Roman's message ended with words that should make every wrestling fan's blood run cold with anticipation. He looked directly into the camera one final time and delivered a promise that's going to change everything. Solo, you made the biggest mistake of your pathetic career when you touched Jacob Fatu. You didn't just attack one man, you attacked the heart of what makes us strong. You showed the world that you're not a leader, you're a predator who preys on the loyalty of better men than yourself. But here's what you forgot in your rush to prove yourself: I am still the tribal chief. I am still the head of this table. And I am coming for you with the fury of every ancestor who has ever been disrespected by cowards like you. The video ended with Roman's music playing and one final message flashing on screen: the reckoning is coming, and it will be brutal. This isn't just another wrestling storyline, people, this is a masterpiece of storytelling that's going to define WWE programming for months to come. Roman Reigns has just declared war not just on Solo SIKOA, but on everyone who thinks cowardice and betrayal are acceptable in the wrestling business. The implications are staggering. We're looking at a family war that's going to tear apart everything we thought we knew about the bloodline. And Jacob Fatu? He's not just a victim anymore, he's become the martyr that's going to fuel Roman's quest for vengeance. If you're not furious about what happened to Jacob Fatu, if you're not demanding justice for this warrior who got beaten down by 4 cowards, then you don't understand what real wrestling is about. This is about honor, respect, and standing up for what's right, even when the odds are stacked against you. Drop your comments below and tell me, are you Team Roman or are you going to keep defending Solo's cowardly actions? Because there's no middle ground here. You're either with the Warriors or you're with the cowards, and your choice is going to define what kind of wrestling fan you really are. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.